Hey guys, it's Marcus here, and as you can see, we're back playing Master League with Crystal Palace. As you see here, we're actually selling some players in November, like Damien Delaney and Jordan Much, and looking at Miles Jedinak and stuff like that. Basically, some players are, well, Delaney basically we're going to sell because he's like ridiculously old and is just going to go down in his overall. But we looked at Jedinak and we sold Jedinak. Okay, now some of you might be a bit annoyed that I sold Jedinak, but considering that he is 31 or 32 or whatever, and he's just going to go down in his rating, and his rating isn't actually that high, I was like, okay, fair enough. We could probably get quite a lot of money for him, and considering that we're going to get like, it was like 14 million or whatever, I think we probably deserve that amount of money. We can actually put it to better use. So with that being said, in the first today's episode, we have 3 matches for you, all from the Premier League. And in the first match, we faced against Swansea. Swansea, as you can see, have bought Barrios up front, and that's really about it. The rest of their team is more or less actually the same. They actually bought Taiwo as well at left back from the Marseille player, if I remember correctly, the former Marseille player. So, yeah, playing away from home at the Liberty Stadium against Swansea. Swansea, of course, I don't really have any issue with. I do need to change the colour of their kit as well to white, because it really bugs me, but it didn't really bug me that much when I was actually playing the game. But when I look back at it, it's like, well, yes, actually their team should probably be white in terms of their fan colour. So, Fabianski in goal with his ridiculous haircut. His haircut has to change because in real life his hair doesn't even look like that. I don't know why they've done that for him for the last like 4 years or whatever. But anyway, the game kicked off, and without, of course, Johan Cabaye, who was still injured from this what game was it, the Newcastle game or whatever the hell game he got injured in. So with him still injured, we played our best team possible, like Balassi, Zaha, and Lee as our front three, our 3 behind Castaños. And in the first minutes of the match, basically, we're putting them under a lot of pressure. But in the 37th minute of the match, Gylfi Sigurdsson takes a free kick. Really good free kick, really good save from Jack Butland. Jack Butland's actually coming into his own in this team, as you would expect. And all the way up into the second half, Scott down on the ball, plays it into Wilfred Zaha. Zaha waits for Castaños to make the run. Castaños does make the run. Eventually does get a strike away, hits off the post, comes out, McCarthy tries to head it down, can't head it down himself, eventually does head it down to Wilfred Zaha. I did pass the ball away really quickly because I expected him to get fouled, but it didn't really happen. And in the 71st minute of the match, John Joe Shelvey on the ball, gives it to Sigurdsson. Sigurdsson just plays one-touch football with Shelvey, and Sigurdsson pops him back of the net. A really nice goal for me to concede, a really nice goal for Swansea to actually score. I was happy to see them score something a little bit different as it's normal, and like the normal, just like ping it into the box and score some crappy goal. But in the 82nd minute of the match, Wilfred Zaha on the ball, plays it to Sakho, Sakho back to Zaha, Zaha back to Sakho, and Sakho pops him back in net, having come on as a substitute to make it 1-0 against Swansea. So pretty decent result, terrible celebration from me. I was trying to pick the ball up, but for some reason he just wouldn't pick it up. And in the last minutes of the match, Sakho coming down his left-hand side, runs past a couple of players, eventually runs past a couple of players that are not even there, runs on the left-hand side, eventually does get a cross in. The cross comes to nothing, however. It does get cleared, and of course the clearance goes out of play for nothing. So a 1-0 draw against Swansea, pretty decent. Could have been worse. We could have got completely destroyed. From the stats, as you see, the game was ridiculously close and very fair. So I was like, fair enough. A 1-0 draw, not too bad. Sakho got man of the match as well, so not really too bad there either. So into the second match of the episode, it is against Mark Hughes' Stoke City. They have Peter Crouch up front, they have Shaqiri, Afellay, Arnautovic, they actually bought David Pizarro, they got Glenn Whelan, they have Bojan on the bench, Juve on the bench, you have Van Ginkel as well, Adam Muniesa, Wilson. Like, they have a pretty good team. In goal, they have Shea Given for some reason. I don't know where their good goalkeeper's gone. Oh, where's that Jack Poland? Oh, he's on my team. Yeah, so Shea Given in goal, and of course the Peters and Mario Fernandez as their 2 side backs, or wing backs, or full backs if you want to be whatever. So in this game you had to play with a little bit of a rested team, like some Much played, Bamford played, Ezekiel Friars played. Like we had to rest some players because a lot of our players are basically dead. Of course, as I said before, in this particular Master League you have to really do a lot more in terms of resting your players and actually doing a proper good job of maintaining the whole overall team management, which makes the game a little bit more interesting rather than just playing your best players every single game. And of course, when players get injured in training, it also helps because it's like, well, you have to go and experiment with other players as well. So I really do enjoy some elements of this game. Some other ones not so much, particularly the online, but offline the game is absolutely fantastic. So With that being said, again, Stoke, one of those players, one of those teams I have to fix the colours for, because for some reason their home thing is green and I don't know why. But in the first minutes of the match, basically from the kickoff, they just kicked the ball straight to Peter Crouch, and I was like, my god, don't tell me they're going to do this for the whole match. And they basically did that for the whole match. So in the 4th minute of the match here, Ezekiel Friars eventually picks the ball on the left hand side, gives it to Balassi. Balassi tries to run at the players, as you would expect Balassi to do, because Balassi's a beast. And it gives it back to Jordan Much. Gives it to Zaha, Zaha into Bamford, Bamford into Castaños, Castaños takes one touch, gets the strike away, doesn't come to anything. Balassi tries to get the rebound away, it doesn't come to anything either. Balassi eventually does pick up the ball, crosses it in, and the cross comes to nothing. So, like I was saying, this game, it was ridiculous. All Stoke did was just basically try and get the ball forward into Peter Crouch as quickly as possible. Zaha runs past a couple players with a little bit of nice skills. Shea Given makes a ridiculously good save, and going all the way into the second half, as I was saying, with Peter Crouch, all they literally did was ping it into him. Eventually, they do actually get a good, they nearly get a good ball into him, doesn't really come to anything. Afly picks the ball, plays it into Arnautovic, but Jack Butland is there just to pick the ball back up. So, in the last minutes of the match, we have an opportunity in the 88th minute of the match. We play it into Connor Wickham, who come on as a substitute, gives it to Jason Punchin. Punchin should have probably crossed it in the second time, but crosses it in really late. But of all people to score, it's goddamn Patrick Bamford again. So Patrick Bamford coming on, scoring goals, doing well, as you would expect. But actually, he didn't even score before. But Patrick Bamford scores, and basically, I was happy for him to score because he was talking about having no faith in him and stuff like that. So Patrick Bamford scores to make it 1-0 to us. Pretty decent result. With pretty decent goals, to be honest. And then Romagnoli gets sent off. I knew I had to get someone sent off because I needed to make a substitution, so I need to take off a good striker for centre back. I did that, and Romagnoli got sent off. Shaqiri takes a free kick, really easy save for Jack Butland, and then I decided to be like, nope, Stoke, you're not going to get this ball back. Took my time with it. Eventually, just play the ball to the floor as you'd expect. Play the ball down. Eventually, just kick it long as you'd expect. And we end up winning the game 1-0 at the Britannia Stadium against Stoke. As you see, I like the fact that the game actually focuses on Patrick Bamford, because of the fact that he probably deserved to win the game. So, with that being said, I see from the stats, they just had no possession at all. Patrick Bamford got man of the match with 7.0 rating. And as you see here, we're going only 2 months away from getting into January, so that's 2 or 3 episodes away. So basically looking at some players to replace, of course, the players who have been selling, so the likes of Jedinak and whatnot. Looking at Emre Can and Ignacio Camacho. So Ignacio Camacho from Malaga, and of course Emre Can from Liverpool. Now Can does not get played at all in the Liverpool team because they play with 3 centre midfielders, and for some reason they don't decide to play him. So I was like, it's a realistic enough transfer because of the fact that, well, him not playing would make perfect sense. But yeah, Friars got injured for 4 weeks or something. I wasn't really too bothered by that. But as you see from the rest of our team going up against Norwich, we've got the likes of Cabaye back, MacArthur, Jedinak, Suarez, basically trying to play our best team. Wickham actually played up front in this game, and my god, in this game we scored one of the best goals I've scored in absolute ages in any PES game. Now you'll see it because it's just ridiculous, and it's probably from the title of the video, best goal ever. But it really is a really nice goal. Potentially a goalkeeper mistake, but to be honest, I just loved when I scored it. I went absolutely mental when I scored it, ridiculously mental. So Norwich actually one of the only teams actually in the BPL which actually has the correct colour for their kit. And the game kicked off as you'd expect, down the left hand side is basically our strong suit side. And we give the ball away very cheaply early on in the game. Nothing really comes to it. They get the ball with Ryan Bennett, give it to Redmond, into Jerome into Tete into Zakarenko. Tete again gets the ball back, but Maicon this time picks it up, gives it to James MacArthur. MacArthur gives it to Johan Cabaye. Unfortunately, he keeps possession, just runs past a couple of players as you would expect of Johan Cabaye. Instead of passing the ball away, however, they just continues to run past players. Eventually, he runs past Sebastian Basson like he's not there, gets a strike away and makes it 1-0 to us. We really have missed him in midfield, but him back does make it so much easier for me to score amazing goals, and it makes it a lot easier for me just to score goals in general. So, scoring very early in the game, we were like, okay, let's go, 30th minute of the match, let's go with Joel Ward. So, we run for a bit with Joel Ward, eventually playing the ball into no one, because Joel Ward just continues to run for ages. Eventually do try and pass the ball, but it doesn't really come to anything. However, Cabaye does pick up the ball. No, someone does pick up the ball. Joel Ward, someone picks up the ball. Who is it? Joel Ward eventually does get the ball back, if I remember correctly. Because, yeah. So Joel Ward picks up the ball, gives it into to Connor Wickham. Wickham plays it into Cabaye. Cabaye just does a really, really nice composed finish to make it 2-0 to us with his second goal. To be honest, I probably should have played it back to Joel Ward, considering that he ran that whole way forward. But anyway, all the way into the end of the first half. Now this is the goal I was talking about when it comes to the best goal that I've ever scored. Look at this for a bloody strike from Johan Cabaye. Okay, I get 3 different camera angles on this. Look at that for a strike. Potentially goalkeeper mistake? Don't think so. I think that's just a minted strike from Johan Cabaye. People say you can't score from long range. I think this sort of proves that you can. So Cabaye scores his hat-trick goal with a goal from like 35 yards, 30 yards. It's ridiculous. He just takes it off the defender, whoever it is, takes like 2 or 3 touches, and I'm just like, nah, Cabaye, just go for goal. Pings it right into the top corner. Nothing John Roddy could do about that. I mean, to be honest, he probably should save it, but hey, what am I going to say? So, going into the second half, of course, having made substitutions, we took off lights of Cabaye because we were like, well, he was basically dead going into the match, so I was like, well, I'm going to have to rest him anyway. And in the 64th minute of the match, Connor Wickham on the ball, runs past the right back, who I'm not going to pronounce his name again, the Chenko guy, and scores to make it 4-0 to us, basically destroying Norwich, as you'd expect. And in the last minutes of the match, really poor pass from Joel Ledley to no one. Zaha can't do anything, and then in the left-hand side, Kyle Lafferty has the ball. I wasn't really too bored because I thought the game was going to end. The game does eventually end, and a 4-0 win to us. So basically in this episode, we've just done really well without Cabaye, and then with Cabaye, we just destroyed the team. James McCarthy, for some reason, it will focus on him because he was really good in midfield. But again, Cabaye got it. 10 shots, 7 on target. Johan Cabaye with a man match of 8.0 rating for his hat-trick. Chelsea beat Newcastle 4-1, Arsenal beat West Brom 1-0, Man City beat Swansea 1-0, but we're still second in the table, 1 point behind Chelsea. So if you have enjoyed this video, subscribe my channel for more, and catch you later.